Welcome back, AR professionals. I'm Harshal. Today, we're jumping right into part 11 of our revenue cycle management training. In this explainer, we're zeroing in on one of the most common, and honestly sometimes the most frustrating, hurdles in our daily queues, resolving coordination of benefits or COB denials. So if you've been seeing CO22 or PR16 popping up on your screens lately, you are definitely in the right place.
We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's glance at the agenda. We're going to move from defining these denials and their root causes straight into a step-by-step resolution workflow. Then we'll break down primary versus secondary payers, look at proper note documentation, and finish up with a quick knowledge check.
All right, Section 1, defining COB denials, specifically CO22 and PR16. Let's get right into it.
Let's look at the exact wording here. CO22 or PR22 literally states care may be covered by another payer per coordination of benefits. So what does this actually mean for us? Basically, the insurance we just billed is raising their hand and saying, hold on a second, we think another active policy should be paying as the primary. They're telling us they aren't first in line for this bill.
And then we have PR16. This one officially translates to information requested from patient. In the COB world, this is a dead giveaway that the payer has completely paused processing the claim. Why? Well, it's usually because the patient hasn't supplied their mandatory coordination details or primary payment info is missing. The payer is literally stuck. They can't proceed until the patient clarifies who's supposed to pay first.
Moving on to Section 2, let's talk about the root causes. Why do these COB denials even happen?
Usually, it boils down to four main culprits. First up, the patient just forgot to update their primary and secondary coverage details with their insurance, which, by the way, they're supposed to do annually. Second, the secondary plan was incorrectly billed as the primary in the billing software. It's a tiny data entry error, but man, it stops payment instantly. Third, the secondary coverage just wasn't verified on the date of service. Or fourth, you actually did bill the primary successfully, but the primary explanation of benefits, that crucial EOB, was missing when you sent the claim over to the secondary payer.
Okay, Section 3, the step-by-step resolution workflow. How do we actually fix these?
As AR associates, your first move is to systematically run through these 4 steps. Step 1, check your patient outreach. Look at the dates of the first, second, or even third COB update letters the payer sent. Step 2, apply your 30-day timeframe action rules based on those letter dates. Step 3, cross-check your billing system for historical payments on nearby dates of service. And Step 4, advise the patient to contact their member benefits directly. Let's unpack the timeline rules a bit more.
This is absolutely crucial. You have to handle a letter sent 10 days ago very differently than one sent 40 days ago. If the payer mailed that co-op request less than 30 days ago, you just need to give the patient some time to respond to it. Set a follow-up date and move on. But if that letter went out more than 30 days ago, the patient missed their window. Now you've got to escalate. That usually means either advising the patient immediately or rolling the balance to patient responsibility, which typically compels them to finally update their insurance details. You know, it's super important to understand boundaries here. I know as an AR associate, you probably just want to fix it yourself and get it paid. But updating COB is strictly a patient responsibility. You literally cannot do it for them on the phone with a payer rep. The payer's job is mailing out the requests, the patient's job is calling their member benefits department to confirm who is primary. And your job is guiding the patient to actually take that action.
Here's a quick pro tip for Step 3 of that workflow. Before you even pick up the phone, always check historical payments on nearby dates of service. Dig into your billing software and see if identical CPT codes were paid on previous recent visits. If you see that another payer already established themselves as primary and paid out, you can use that history to challenge incorrect secondary denials right away, or at least know exactly which primary EOB you need to go track down.
Section 4, primary versus secondary payer flowchart. Let's see how our paths diverge here.
Think of it like a fork in the road. If a primary payer issues the COB denial, the patient has to act. You verify eligibility on the date of service, instruct the patient to update their COB with the payer, and once they do, you ask the rep to reprocess the claim. But if a secondary payer issues this denial, meaning they're demanding the primary EOB, well, the ball is entirely in your court. It's on you to hunt down those primary insurance details, retrieve the primary EOB, and appeal to the secondary payer with that documentation attached.
On to Section 5, Standard Caller Note Template, because resolution is only half the job.
We have an absolute golden rule in RA analysis. If it's not in your notes, it didn't happen. Think about it. If you spend an hour researching, verifying eligibility, and talking to a payer rep,
but you don't document it clearly, you're leaving your teammates completely in the dark. The work basically never happened because the next person who touches that account is going to have to start all over from scratch.
So to avoid that nightmare, we used a standard template. You should really use this standardized format for every single COB update needed scenario you hit in your queues. Look at how clean this is. You've got the payer and rep name, the exact date of service and denial status, the specific actions you took regarding those COB letters, your next steps, and always, the call reference number. Doing this ensures anyone who opens that account knows exactly where things stand.
All right, Section 6, Knowledge Check. Let's see what you've retained today.
Question 1. What is the primary root cause for a CO22 claim adjustment reason code? Is it A, the provider is out of network, B, the diagnosis code is invalid, or C, the patient hasn't updated their primary/secondary coverage details? Take a sec to think back to what actually triggers that coordination of benefits block.
Moving to question 2. If a payer sent a COB update letter to the patient just 12 days ago, what is your next step? A. Immediately write off the claim balance. B. Allow time for patient response as it is under 30 days. Or C. Submit an appeal to the clearinghouse. Remember our timeframe action rules here. 12 days is the magic number to look at.
And question 3. Whose strict responsibility is it to call the Member Benefits Department to update COB information? Is it A, the AR associate, B, the patient, or C, the healthcare provider? Think about who actually holds the power to officially update those demographics.
Okay, let's see how you did. The answers are 1C, 2B, and 3B. If you nailed all 3, you are well on your way to mastering COB denials. Before we wrap up this explainer, I want you to ask yourself, how much revenue is your facility losing right this second simply because a patient forgot to make a 5-minute phone call to their insurance? It's a huge deal. So keep those queues clean. Share and subscribe for free courses on Decode Healthcare with Harshal.